The Lombards, the Germanic tribe that influenced European history. A forgotten power in Europe's history. When discussing the shaping of medieval Europe, names like the Romans, the Franks, and the Byzantines often take center stage. However, one group, often overshadowed, played a significant role in molding the political, cultural, and military landscape of the continent: the Lombards. A fierce Germanic tribe with a reputation for tenacity and strategic brilliance, they emerged from the depths of northern Europe to carve out one of the most influential kingdoms of the early Middle Ages. Their impact was so profound that even today their legacy echoes in Italy's Lombardy region, one of Europe's most economically vital areas. But who were the Lombards, and how did they rise from obscurity to become a dominant force in European history? This is the story of the warriors who defied Rome, ruled Italy, and left an indelible mark on the continent's destiny. Origins: from the Germanic wilderness to the Danube. The Lombards, also known as the Langobards, meaning long beards, first appeared in historical records in the 1st century AD. Their origins are shrouded in myth and legend, with early accounts suggesting they hailed from Scandinavia before migrating southward into Central Europe. According to the historian Paul the Deacon, who wrote their definitive history in the 8th century, the Lombards descended from a fierce and independent people who embraced war as a way of life. By the 4th and 5th centuries AD, they had settled along the Elbe River in modern-day Germany. However, like many other Germanic tribes of the era, the Huns' westward expansion and the decline of the Roman Empire forced them to move further south. Over time, they migrated toward Pannonia, modern-day Hungary and Austria, where they would forge a more structured society and lay the groundwork for their later conquests. But they were still far from the dominant force they would become. The Lombards and the fall of Rome, the rise of a new power. As the Western Roman Empire collapsed in the 5th century, Germanic tribes vied for control over its remnants. The Ostrogoths, another Germanic people, took control of Italy, but after their kingdom fell to the Byzantine Empire in 553 AD, a power vacuum emerged. The Lombards, under their ambitious and cunning king Alboin, seized the opportunity. In 568 AD, Alboin led his people across the Alps and into Italy, encountering little resistance. The once mighty Roman world was in disarray, and the Byzantines struggled to hold onto their territories. The Lombards swiftly seized control of large swaths of the Italian Peninsula, establishing their rule over cities like Milan, Pavia, and Verona. Unlike the brutal sackings of Rome by the Vandals or Visigoths, the Lombard invasion was strategic and methodical. They didn't seek to destroy, they sought to rule. Over the next century, they transformed Italy, blending Germanic traditions with Roman and Byzantine influences to create a hybrid culture that would shape medieval Italy. However, their rule was not without challenges. The Lombard Kingdom, a new order in Italy. After Alboin's assassination in 572 AD, the Lombard Kingdom experienced internal turmoil. Unlike the Franks, who had a strong centralized monarchy, the Lombards followed a decentralized tribal system, with dukes ruling different regions independently. This division made them vulnerable to external threats, particularly from the Byzantines, who still held territories in Ravenna, Rome, and the south of Italy. The Lombards struggled against Byzantine counterattacks, yet they managed to solidify their grip on northern and central Italy. By the early 8th century, the Lombards had become a dominant force in Italy under King Liutprand, r. 712–744, who strengthened the kingdom through military campaigns and legal reforms. Unlike their predecessors, Liutprand sought to integrate Lombard customs with Roman law, creating a unique legal code that influenced medieval European law. His reign marked the height of Lombard power, but storm clouds loomed on the horizon. The fall of the Lombards, the Frankish conquest. Despite their success, the Lombards had a fatal weakness: they lacked unity. The decentralized nature of their rule made them vulnerable to outside intervention, and no outside force was more formidable than the rising Frankish kingdom. In 774 AD, the legendary Frankish king Charlemagne invaded Lombard territory at the request of Pope Adrian I. The Lombards had long been at odds with the Papacy, which feared their expansion into central Italy. The Pope, seeking protection, turned to Charlemagne, the most powerful ruler in Western Europe at the time. Charlemagne crushed the Lombard army, captured their capital Pavia, and declared himself king of the Lombards, effectively ending their independence. Despite their fall, the Lombards did not vanish from history. Many of their nobles and warriors assimilated into Frankish society, and Lombard culture continued to influence medieval Italy. In fact, the Lombard legal code and governance style would later inspire the development of Italian city-states like Venice, Milan, and Florence. The Lombard legacy, how they shaped European history. While the Lombard kingdom ended in 774 AD, their impact on Europe endured for centuries. Some of their most lasting contributions include the Lombardy region. Their name survives in Lombardy, Italy, one of Europe's wealthiest and most industrialized regions. Legal influence. Lombard law, blending Germanic tribal traditions with Roman legal principles, influenced medieval European legal systems, including the development of feudal law. Architectural and cultural impact. Lombard architecture, blending Roman, Byzantine, and Germanic elements, influenced medieval cathedrals and fortresses across Italy and beyond. Religious legacy. Although initially pagan and later Arian Christian, the Lombards eventually embraced Catholicism, contributing to the spread of Christianity in Italy. The Carolingian Empire. Their fall paved the way for Charlemagne's Carolingian Empire, which shaped the medieval European political order. A lost power that shaped Europe. The Lombards may not be as well known as the Romans or the Franks, but their influence is undeniable. They ruled Italy for over 2 centuries, bridged the gap between antiquity and medieval Europe, and helped shape the continent's legal and political systems. Their legacy lives on in Italy's culture, laws, and even its geography. The next time you hear the name Lombardy, remember, it is a reminder of a once mighty tribe that reshaped European history. What do you think about the Lombards? Were they conquerors, builders, or something in between? Let's discuss in the comments below.